Well, we can't take them off, we would have to, which would put us, we would have to add another route for it to work. I can't necessarily pull them because they were inserting distance when we got there. We basically have to add another route to be able to serve them adequately and make sure that we're doing it within the 2-hour time period that we're given to do those.
And that's a health department requirement, right?
Yes.
Would that include another person as well for that route?
Yes. Or myself or my assistant one would have to run it.
Okay.
The other part, when it comes to the comprehensive plan, we talk about connectivity. We believe that Fire Truck Barbecue, where the business is right now, that building is part of that connectivity. There's sidewalks, as well as ample parking, and everything is sufficient as we've explained in previous meetings. The Marshall Street building is within downtown, but the Washington Street is not.
Well, the Marshall Street building, hands down, has the most parking and accessibility because there's multiple. You've got 22, you can go back to the high school, go back around to the backside, like going toward, Byersfield area, and back out down Cherokee. That building definitely has better and safer accessibility versus the original location, for sure.
Accessibility, but not parking. Because if we were to have to put our nutrition center in there, we would have to go on to that building for it to meet our needs. We would be taking up possibly existing parking, which could be county paid.
But
And then there's also, we have a public parking lot that we own, that we originally looked at constructing in the building, which is right off of Madison Street. So we were like, okay, well, what if we could extend, use that parking lot with this property and things like that? We would have to build that with ADA compliance and things. And then there's also a concrete wall that we would have to take out that's along that whole parcel line there. So from a construction standpoint, from a time frame standpoint, we still stand as the building where a fire truck is when it comes to efficiencies, when it comes to readiness, when it comes to time frame and cost. Long term, we believe this is the best fit.
Well, you just looked at that building Friday, and you said based on estimates, but you hadn't had time to contact contractors and get estimates, and we don't see any estimates on any building.
What we did call is we've got some friends that do commercial renovation as well as new construction. So we asked them about an average cost of renovation on commercial. And so they said 175 to 225. We decided to go with 200 just to be in the middle.
Does that include kitchen, cooking equipment as well, or is that just remodel?
There was a remodel there. There was some cost on the cooking stuff. But there was something when it comes to the ADSS part that we would be required to purchase as well on the other one, that we would be required to do, but not them. That was not there, which would be some of the equipment and stuff.
Not issue, but I do understand we're not only from our perspective internally, but we're also dealing with Fire Truck Barbecue's owner, who we've kind of put him in a bit of a bind too, which is somewhat unfair to both parties, and this is a reflection of your office mainly. But we were being asked to legislate in real time, which wasn't necessarily fair to us because there weren't all the options presented. And so now that we've got other options, we do understand that you go to check them out. But spoke to some fire department personnel over the weekend. They weren't necessarily the most energetic about the location moving to Fire Truck Barbecue. So that from a safety perspective, they thought that was, if we had the option to go to Marshall Street, from a safety perspective, that would have been a preferred option. So I don't know the cost would be for renovation, or I think we have some estimates on what the cost would be for the cooking equipment. But I don't want to hold up the current owner of that building because he has some responsibilities that he would have to take care of. But we kind of got, it's not our fault, so to speak, because we were asked to do something without having the proper time. Like you had time to vet these things, so the team spent some months getting to this point. So now, we got it in 2 days, basically, we're asked to make a decision. So I don't want to keep tabling it, but I am interested in knowing what the cost would be if this building is $100,000 less. Wouldn't it make sense to at least see what the cost would be if we did have to build it out from that perspective?
There are 3 considerations here. Number 1, time. We need to move from where we're at. They need to get out, or either we're gonna have to extend the lease. The other 2 locations are not financially or logistically feasible. Just look, if you look at them, the stuff we're gonna have to do it's just not feasible.
I just don't like that get coming in and out there. I understand traffic is this and this and these certain hours. I personally don't like that Xing and entering on the original building discuss. Me personally, I don't feel like it's that safe.
But if you're, now, what I said before, if you're telling me that the recommendation of the office is this, then I trust the amount of work that is going into it to say that this is the best option financially and for the safety of the people that will be using it. But I just want to be able to say that we did not look at something else. And I know we did look at some other things, but I just want to make sure that from a council's perspective, the safety is the most important
Well,
aspect
that's why
of this
I
entire
pulled the
thing.
accidental records. That's why I asked the police department, would you pull this for the last 5 years, I believe it was. And there's been one.
Yeah, so I mean, that little spot has been part of the history of this city for a really long time. I think most people are pretty used to that area, not to say that it's the most ideal. And then just looking at, build out and time, and not knowing what we're gonna get into and build out versus kind of almost like a cookie cutter. I mean, I'm all about being fiscally responsible, but I do believe if you really, this is just my opinion, but if you really look at what has to be done on the other properties versus this property, we're gonna be almost up in the same, we're almost gonna be up in the same price range once you complete. We don't know what we're gonna get into once they start tearing stuff apart. In the interest of time, I mean, I'd love for us to be able to get bids and say, hey, this is what it would cost us to outfit those other couple buildings. But I also do believe y'all done a lot of due diligence on putting this together. The other thing, the biggest thing that keeps coming back to my mind is what we had discussed as far as distance to deliver and who you can support and who you can't. And it does seem like, and I might be wrong, but it does seem like the fire truck location is the most central. And am I right or wrong about that?
And the members that would be using this facility, are y'all okay? Because ultimately that's if y'all are okay with it, then I don't have a problem supporting it. Are y'all okay with the use of that facility?
I'd love to hear some further comments.
They're wanting to know which location you're talking about.
The fire truck market.
We have a hard time here.
We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I have a problem with that location.
If you want to come up and speak, you can.
Yeah, I have a problem with that location because of the fact that we're talking about 5 Point. I have a hard voice anyway. And we're talking about people coming in from all directions, those 5 different directions. And then you got that little slant there. And to me, that's dangerous, especially when you're not always attentive. So I just think that that's a little bit risky and a little bit more liability on the city to do that.
And as far as build out, I know for new construction, about $200 a square foot is what you'd be at. And I don't see us having to renovate that whole building. And the lease is not an issue, because Tommy Harris called me. I know we gave him a 3-month extension. He said we can stay there as long as we need. And I know we're paying a high utility bill for him, but for the last 13 months, it's averaged $976.47 a month. So we've got $200 of that, it's roughly $1,200 a month. So it's not costing us a whole lot to stay there based on the time we need to look at the cost of renovating a better location.
Just kind of go back to what Scott said, I mean, we appreciate all the hard work and we know that y'all care. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's never in question. But it's just, there's a lot of things that have been thrown in front of us for these 8 years that we've been sitting here, that it's gotta be now, gotta be now, gotta be now. Matter of time, and we do it, and then it's like, man, I wish we could have had a little bit longer, because maybe that wasn't the best choice, even though that we're rushed. So I'm with Bobby on the fact that, what's another couple months, really get somebody to look at it. I mean, to drive by and call, we're not out in the cold now, winter's about over. It's just, I just feel like we really make sure that we really, really look at it. If it's a break even, then I don't know. I
don't want to cause an issue for the current property owner.
I don't think
I do understand.
Who is your spokesperson that actually uses the nutrition center for y'all that y'all could call on? That's here.
Susan Hardy, we have several here that actually use the nutrition center that are with us. Miss Susan Hardy, Miss Gloria Robinson, Mr. Allen right here.
How do y'all feel about the moving to fire truck? How do y'all feel about that location? How do y'all feel about that location? Miss Susan.
Can you turn my job? I can't hear you.
I can get loud for you. How do you feel about the move to fire truck?
I think it's an excellent place, because I think it's dangerous, and I never see it where it's enough parking, because I think it can increase parking. But I do think it's dangerous, because most of us go down, the oldest, but the rest of them are well in their 60s or 70s or 80s. And anyway, we're not the best drivers in the world.
Miss Susan? You good, Miss Susan? What do you want to say?
I've been listening to all of this. We talked to the nutrition center too, to understand all the different places that we're looking at. And out of the things that we've looked at, I feel like this is still one of the better places for us to go. We do need a place to go. We do have some issues there where it is at, and in several ways, let's put it that way, issues. And but all things considered and what we've seen and heard and talked, we still feel like barbecue is a better place. The fire truck barbecue is a better place for us to go right now to get settled. And all of us would feel like it would be a good opportunity for us to go there with it compliant and everything ready to use. Okay. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Anything else, anybody? All right. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you.
Number 2, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with AMCO Inc. for HVAC services for the municipal complex. That sounds pretty self-explanatory. Anything you want to say about that, Council? Oh, number 1, I'm sorry. Resolution to award request for statement of qualifications for engineering services for fairway funded projects through fiscal year 2027. I'm sorry, Drew.
So what this is we put out an RFQ latter part of December, early part of January. In 2021, we put one out for compliance with the DECA funded or federally funded grants. This allows us to go ahead and get those proposals out for those services. So they'll be able to help us for 3 years. It's time for that. They'll be able to help assist us based on the projects that we go after to get federal funds for 2027. There is awarding, we did receive 10, and we're asking for awarding to receive 10 because we will identify for our strategic plan, our specific projects that we want to move forward with funding. Those projects, I will start looking at grants more in detail. So this gives us a kind of a leg up when we go to apply. Just like, for instance, we applied for the ARC as well as CDBG to help with the lumber company. Because we have that resolution on hand, we have those proposals in place, I was able to send that resolution with a letter from the project manager, which in this case is Lynn, saying yes, that this took place during this FY year. So that was part of the application when we're done. I didn't have to go back and do anything out. So, and they accepted that, so we want to move forward with that. And all of these bring different qualifications to the table. That's why they want him across the board.
Any questions or comments? Number 2, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement with AMCO Inc. for HVAC services for the municipal complex. This is sponsored by Council President Pro Tem Hardy. We do have Drew here, who is chomping at the bit to say something.
Well, let me start out by saying it's pretty straightforward. We are canceling the current agreement that we have. You guys approved it 2 years ago with ECS out of Pensacola. We found that their service calls are, the maintenance is equivalent across the two that we're moving to and the one we're leaving, but the service calls should greatly go down, should reduce costs. It's been around $62,000 last year. So we're trying to get that.
That was last year, you said?
With another company. This one should be better.
I got a couple questions for you. Sure. I know this wasn't bidded out, correct?
It was not, no.
And I normally we bid out to see if there's anybody else
So
around.
when we did this 2 years ago, we solicited quotes. We got quotes back from 2 companies with the Mitsubishi cassette system that we have in this building. Qualified people to service that are few and far between.
Think anybody could have got qualified in the last 2 years?
Not likely, but if you would like us to go, we can go.
I hate passing something, we don't give everybody an opportunity to bid it out and just see. And one thing I read through this was the agreement is the helpers, what they were gonna get paid, and I'm sure that helper's not getting paid that, if he is. You know, that helper's making more than 90% of the people in the city, and I think that's a slap in the face for our city employees that we're contracting out.
Yeah.
Helpers are making more than they do.
Yeah, no, the company gets a markup on those prices that you see, so the employees making less than that.
Yeah, and they just leave a bad taste in my mouth for our city employees.
Yeah, we can come back with quotes.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Number 3, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between Russell Lands, Inc., Bioflow, Inc., Willow Point Golf and Country Club, LLC, and the City of Alexander City. This is sponsored by Mayor Baird.
What this is a public-private partnership for us to work with Russell Lands to extend our sewer service to the Willows and Willow Point. And in the event that we require any financial assistance, they're willing to help us out with that. And we will repay them with the revenue that we create from the extension of the services.
Any questions or comments?
I figured this would be, as the line was in, I figured it would be Willow's coming on for long, so makes it easier.
And as I mentioned, we do appreciate y'all's partnership with the city, always willing to help us out.
Number 4, resolution to surplus various items that are no longer needed for municipal use. This is our regular, we have items that are not used, we put them up for bid or purchase. And anything special about that you want to say, Nick?
Good luck.
Yeah.
It has been extensively used.
Any questions or comments? Number 5, resolution to award bid number 25-07 to J Manifold Construction, LLC for recycling center construction project in amount not to exceed $190,854.32. This is sponsored by Council President Pro Tem Hardy. Oh, yeah, 160, well, wait, I don't know. 161.
You will address that when it comes before you,
We need to amend it.
when it comes up to vote, yes.
Okay, who's, speaking on this, Council Harden? Or my friend Drew?
I was trying to make sure I didn't misunderstand.
So we went after the ADM recycling grant. Last year we won it. It was for the amount of $104,000 and some change. We got bids back. We had a lot of interest in the project, but only 2 bids came in. One at $330,000 and one at $190,000. Now we went to the table with them, negotiated, pulled the spray foam insulation off of it, and got it down to that 161 number. We want to go ahead and award this so that we can use that grant that we were awarded, and we'll make up the difference in fulfill ARPA and then maybe capital or our operating.
Any questions or comments for Drew?
Will this be built on the current location, or will it be a new build somewhere else?
It will be built at the vacant lot at the corner of Rayleigh Road and Joseph, where we store materials.
Okay.
Can give, outside the fence, is gonna give the citizens that 24/7 access to the recycling. But right now, they've gotta do it during business hours, so they'll be able to go during weekends, that's been one of the big complaints.
Yeah.
We're also gonna have a bin for electronics.
But it's very good.
Thank you, Drew, appreciate it. Number 6, resolution to place liens on multiple properties for weed abatement. This is sponsored by Mayor Bader.
Y'all need me to explain anything on that? I mean,
Any questions or comments on that?
I got one comment, because I had one of these people that's on the list actually contact me, and I'm not gonna call the name, but anyway. They received the letter one day last week that the lien was gonna be put on the property, had no knowledge prior to. When they called and questioned, they were supposed to be an invoice of the work that was performed on there, that wasn't there in the letter. Said that they were never notified, and this was a off-site location, and so there was a note put on their door. I just think we need to do a little bit better job than just stick a note on somebody's door that never goes by.
well, there needs to be a better job of the people who own the properties of updating the addresses on the tax records. That's one of the reasons that the notices were sent to the wrong address, basically. And the notices were put on the building several times. So it made me think that maybe they weren't going by the building on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I know what was cleaned up was illegal on the property, and this person is well known through the city, and everybody had their telephone number, could have called prior to that. So I just think this one particularly could have been avoided if we'd done a better job of reaching out to someone.
They came in and met with us, and we talked with them, and from now on, before they put out the list, or before they start doing the work, they're gonna bring the list to me, and I'm gonna look it over. Like you said, if I had gotten the list beforehand, I would have called this individual and said, hey, this is what's fixing to happen, and they would take care of it. That was not, we're gonna do that in the future. They're gonna bring me the list, I'm gonna go through it, and anybody I see I know, I'll call.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for, so appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think that this was probably supposed to have been kind of stricken off this now, public record. Anyway, we'll do better in the future.
Excuse me, maybe I'm on the slow bus. Okay, we are calling people we know personally about grass, but what are we doing about the people we don't know?
It's not about grants, it's
I said grass.
grass. This person is a business person in town. They've got multiple properties all over. So as a courtesy, just like with the utility bills, as a courtesy, especially for businesses, when I get the cutoff list 3 times a month, I go through there, and if I see businesses on there, I try to call them to give them a courtesy call, to keep them from disrupting their businesses. It just like when you, Miss Edwards, if I saw your business on there, to keep you from having your power cut off to your daycare, to your Head Start, I would call you and say, hey, look at this, you might want to come out and take care of this, and that way you don't get cut off and you don't just have a discontinuation of service.
I understand and I like the fact that you're giving me that courtesy, but it still doesn't seem quite fair. I see, but if we're gonna be phone calling people, then we should call everybody.
That's when I've got 296 people on the list, it's just not feasible.
Then we
Like I
don't
said,
call
I
nobody.
usually, I limit it to businesses because to try to keep from disrupting a business.
That's discrimination. You can't do that. You can't do that. I know it sounds good and businesses love it. I would love it as a business person, but it's still not there. We're not gonna call everybody. As a citizen, I feel like you shouldn't call nobody.
Number 7, resolution to approve the updated citizen participation plan. This is sponsored by Mayor Bader. Oh, man.
This is for compliance with, once again, grants, federal funds and things. Our last one was done in 2014. Of course, it had our old address, the judicial building where our previous city council meetings took place. Also in here, what we did is we ended up on the very back side when it comes to public hearings, because you all as council set this as well as set the public hearings when it comes to us applying. In section 5.5, we went ahead and added that the notices will be posted to the bulletin board located here. There's 2 of those. And we will also use our social media platforms to be able to put those public hearings out to let people know that we're applying for grant funds. The other part, I do want to do an employee spotlight on this. Did not realize it until going through and making sure that we were compliant with this plan. 5.6 on page 4 says limited English proficiencies when it comes to residents in our local city. We have an admin, our part-time admin, which is Sherman. She is proficient in Spanish, so she has been very good at that, so we do suffice with this. So anytime we need assistance here during public hearings, we are also utilizing her in utilities. She has also been very helpful with contractors here that have Spanish residents or citizens too. So we are fulfilling this, and we will do that moving forward. We just need your approval tonight, updated in 2014 plan.
Any questions or comments? Number 8, in order to amend Akron City Code, Chapter 34, elections, Section 34-4, voting places. This is sponsored by myself. I think we have all those voting places now, ma'am, am I correct? We changed District 3 to Board of Education. District 5, we changed to Sportsplex.
Even for community center at the sportsplex.
District 1 will remain at Cooper. District 2 will remain at Spring Hill. District 4 will remain at Hillary Church, and District 6 will remain at Fire Station 2.
Yeah.
All right? Any questions from anyone on that? That is an ordinance, so we will have to do them for that as well. We will then have public comments. No one signed up. We will have comments from the mayor, comments from the finance director, comments from our city clerk. No comments from our finance director. She's off enjoying her new grandbaby, we hope and pray. Comments from the council, no executive session, and then we'll have adjournment. At this time, would y'all please stand? Ms. Alice Thomas Hall is going to give us a prayer.
Yes.
Thank you for being patient, ma'am. She has something else to do,
Yeah,
y'all.
I have to go to school. I'm in middle school. So I have to go to school. And I'm not trying to change anything of whatever, of what you're doing, but prayer should always be first. Before you have any discussions in here, invite the Lord in so he can get the glory out of what is being done in here.
Amen.
So from now on, if you would think about it, have your prayer first.
We have to change it the way, they set it up like.
I know, but I said in the future, maybe, prayer changes things, situation, people and everything.
It helps us.
Yes. So let's look to the Lord. I usually turn around and face the audience, but tonight I want to face the council.
Right?
Yes, ma'am. I want to face the council. Yes. So tonight, the disciples asked Jesus to teach them how to pray. And he told them to address it as our Father, which art in heaven. So tonight, we are addressing our Father with gratitude, thanking him for all of the many blessings that he has bestowed upon us as a community, as a city, as a state, as a nation. We just thank you, our Father, for safe travel here. We thank you for what our eyes have seen, for what our ears have heard. So right now, in the mighty name of Jesus, we ask, oh God, after thanking you, we ask you for guidance to lead and guide the city managers and the city council members, all those that are affiliated with anything in the city. Give them guidance, Father in heaven, to take part in doing what is necessary and what is right for your community, Father in heaven, and for your children, for your people. And after doing guidance, oh God, give protection, oh God, because we need it right now, Father, for things that are going on in our cities, our town, our nation, our communities. Right now, we ask in the mighty name of Jesus that your spirit would dwell in this place and let it run from heart to heart, from breast to breast, so that we can become unified in one. And that way we can be able to go out and do the work that you would have us to do with love, understanding, humility, and grant us wisdom, oh God. Grant the council members whatever they need, Father in heaven, to continue to carry on the works of Alexander City. We thank you for that right now. So continue to bless one by one, name by name, for you know who is assembled in this place. So right now, in the mighty name of Jesus, again, we thank you. And we honor you with the praise. And we will lift you up. And as they leave here tonight, go before them, prepare the way, protect them from all hurt, harm, and danger. Lead everyone to their destination safely. When they reach their destination, they'll find things decent and in order, and we'll be so ever careful to give you the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 And amen. Amen.
Please recite with me the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I need approval for our minutes for February 17, 2025 work session and regular meeting.
Motion we approve that, both sets of minutes as presented.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yes.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. At this time, we need to approve our agenda for the night, March 3rd, 2025.
Motion we approve our agenda as presented.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yay.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. At this time, we will hear reports from the Council on Standing Committee. Finance Committee is still working diligently to collect anything they need to collect. They're doing an awesome job. They will have a report for us at our next council meeting on 4 to 6 different avenues for funding our sewer that we took away from our citizens for this year. They will have it at our next work session. And as I said, Ms. Romy is visiting with her, waiting on her newest granddaughter. So you all pray for her safe return. And we thank them for the awesome job that they do in the Finance Committee. Public Safety Committee, Councilor Chris Brown, Councilor Eric Brown.
I know that the police and fire department are always in need of good men and women to help on public safety. So if you know anybody interested in a career in public safety, please send them our way. Thank you.
Utilities Committee, Councilor Phillips.
Adams Water Treatment Plant, samples have been taken. The new filter plant intake is up and running, no power issues, doing some repainting. in some bad areas. All trainees are attending classes for the new equipment. Other than that, mainly just relocates, nothing real new. Thank you again to Lynn and the team with the water department, continuing to work on that issue. We've seen less and less issues over the last few weeks, and hopefully that will continue to be the case. So that's all I got for tonight.
Parks and Recreation, Counselor Chris Brown.
We ended up having 405 kids sign up for baseball, t-ball, and softball this year. The practices will start this week. Again, opening day is set for Saturday, April 5th. The second annual Easter egg hunt will take place on Saturday, March 29th at the Sportsplex. We'll have more information to follow on the City Parks and Rec's Facebook page. It's warming up outside. Just a reminder that both Cooper Rec and the Sportsplex have availabilities for rent for outdoor birthday parties and just gatherings. We'd like to congratulate the 8U boys basketball team for winning the District 5 basketball tournament. The team dominated the tournament, only allowing 12 points scored across all their games. The team has earned a trip to state. It'll be held in Tuscaloosa the weekend of March 21st. So congratulations to those young men. Over at Cooper Rec, we had 26 kids sign up for the track and field. So they'll be starting practice and getting ready to compete. There'll be more information again on the City Parks and Rec Facebook page as it becomes available. After months of searching, we found someone who is willing to repaint the pool at Cooper Rec this spring. We're looking forward to continuing to improve the pool in preparation of the summer pool season. At Lake Winds, again, we're above where we were last year, a little over $5,000, and we're averaging about $1,400 a day in play. So things are going good at the golf course. Airport, last week, Rebel Fuel Service replaced the gas pumps for our self-service jets. The pumps have been certified by the FAA and ALDOT and should be operational very soon. And our gas sales, our fuel sales out at the airport is up tremendously over the past year for all the air travel coming into the city. So everything's going good at Parks and Rec. It's nice weather out after tomorrow evening, so get out and play around the golf.
I missed one thing.
Okay.
Can I speak up?
Yes, sir, you can.
We just need to welcome Miles Mezek. He's a new equipment operator at the sewer department, so I just want to welcome him to the city. I missed that.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. Public Works Committee, Council President Pro Tem Hardy.
The city is planning to resurface I Street sometime this week or next, depending on the weather. We ask that you please use caution and expect delays from traveling in this area. If possible, use alternate routes. We appreciate your understanding and patience.
Buildings and Property, Councilor Tapley.
John at the library saw a couple of things. He said the adult and children's drawing class, they had a good folks to show up for it, so that both classes are full at the moment. But he's planning on having some more classes in the coming months. So their ebook checkouts are up 11% compared to the first 2 months of 24. So they just encourage everybody to come out to the library or use the ebook online. And the Cody Long placed commemorative bricks out front of the library for the late board member Ronnie Weathers and the recent retired Amy Huff. So thank board for thinking of them putting the bricks out. That's all. Thank you.
No reports from special committee, no public hearing, no report on status of city finances, no proclamations. Unfinished business. Resolution to authorize the mayor to sign all documents related to purchasing real property, including content located at 226 Jefferson Street, to be used as a nutrition center, and to approve an amendment to the FY25 budget in an amount not to exceed $55,000. It was tabled February 3rd, 2025.
Move to substitute the pending resolution with the resolution to authorize the mayor to sign all documents related to purchasing real property, including contents located at 226 Jefferson Street, to be used as the nutrition center.
We have a motion to approve the amendment and by substitution, and a second. Any discussion?
I would just like to say, just, and my vote for this is, I just believe that over time, we're gonna get back to the same place that we're at right now. When it comes to funding, build out, everything else, I just think we're in the interest of time and getting things done. I think it's just the right thing to do. We've had enough positive, feedback from some of the folks that use the facility. And, I just think we're gonna be back here anyway, so I would just like to see us go ahead and move forward.
Any other questions or comments? This is the vote on the amendment by substitution. Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Nay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Nay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Now we need a motion to approve the substitute resolution.
I make a motion that we approve the substituted resolution.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Nay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Nay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. New business. Number 1,
Resolution to award request for statement of qualifications for engineering services for federally funded project through fiscal year 2027.
we need a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve resolution as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 2,
Resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with AMCO Inc. for HVAC services for the municipal complex.
we need a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Say.
Any discussion?
I just, like I said earlier, I'd rather us to figure it out. I mean, we may be back at the same place, but I'd rather make sure that we don't leave anyone else out.
And it meets the regulations not to bid out under the cost of Alabama bid law. $30,000. 36 to be exact.
It's well below.
What?
It's well below.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Did y'all reach out to any, was there any local HVAC people I know one particular, I know they put in Mitsubishi, units, I know they use them a lot.
Who do you have? Who is that?
Jackson Refrigeration, I don't know if y'all, I'm just asking, 'cause I know for a fact they do.
That's like the only other one, but we're gonna reach out to them. If you guys wanna table it, we'll reach out to them.
But just because they do Mitsubishi doesn't mean, these things are special. These cassettes we have, they're not any, I don't think they're anywhere else in the city. I think we're the ones that have them. And they are different.
You know how many times we get hit up at Walmart and
Yeah.
everywhere else, if there's local people, how come y'all never choose local people? I'm throwing out there.
Yeah, I understand.
If they, because we have, how come y'all didn't ask us? I mean, that's all the time. Yeah.
We have a motion, we will vote on that motion, and then we can decide from there. Roll call vote, Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Nay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 3,
Resolution to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement between Russell Lands Incorporated, BioFlow Incorporated, Willow Point Golf and Country Club LLC, and the city of Alexander City, Alabama.
we need a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve resolution as written.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to thank Russell Lands because, I mean, we've been preaching for 4 years now that it's going to take more services to continue to be able to keep the cost of sewer down for all residents. And this is going to add a lot of services to our system. So thank you. Thank you for your partnership on it.
Appreciate it. Any more discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 4,
Resolution to surplus various items that are no longer needed for municipal use.
we need a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 5,
Resolution to award bid number 2507 to J Manifold Construction LLC for recycling center construction project in an amount not to exceed $190,854.32.
I move to amend lines 4 and 30, changing the amount of $190,854.32 to $161,645.21. And on line 20, before the word whereas, add the following where it is, or where is.
Whereas.
They're both of them.
we'll keep going.
The Public Works Director negotiated with the vendor and removed items that can be completed outside of the bid specifications. And whereas the negotiations have reduced the bid award to $161,645.21, and on line 20, changed the amount of $108,000 to $104,110.
We need a motion to approve the amendment to the resolution.
Make a motion to approve the amendment to the resolution.
Second.
Any discussion?
Hey, back to Chris made the motion.
Yeah, I made the motion.
Oh, you're right.
Second.
Oh, excuse me.
Second.
Let me move it around. I'm sorry, thank y'all. Roll call vote, Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Now we need a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
Motion to approve the amended resolution.
Any discussion?
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I would like to say the guy you got working over there does very well at what he does. I mean, every time I take some recycling, he always says, thank you for recycling. So it's a pleasure, and he's great.
He's passionate about it. We're glad to have him.
When will the construction start? Just curious, forgot to ask earlier.
So they've got to order the building. They told me it'll be a 4-week lead time on the building, so we're gonna write them a notice to proceed and give them 6 weeks to start.
Counselor Phillips,
Yay.
Counselor Tapley,
Yay.
Counselor Hardy,
Yay.
Counselor Eric Brown,
Yay.
Counselor Chris Brown,
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 6,
Resolution to place liens on multiple properties for weed abatement.
need a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Second.
Any discussion?
The
Roll.
one property we talked about, the people that, they actually moved out of the city limits. And got all their mail forwarded, and the people who bought their house, give them all the other mail except for that, it came to them. And it's my understanding that theirs is gonna be removed from this list, per conversation with the mayor.
We're not gonna remove the name from the list right now, no. Yeah, we have talked to them and we have an understanding, okay?
But, go ahead.
Well, if we do move forward and vote, whatever conversation or agreement y'all had, are they aware
Yes,
That their name, they're aware that they're still on this list
Correct.
that's going out in the public.
I don't think this list is gonna be printed in the public.
Well, anybody that can pull this agenda,
But it's,
The resolution is public knowledge, but moving forward, what we have talked about, because of notifications by law that has to be sent by who is registered with probate office. That is the responsibility of the property owner. We do that by registered or certified mail. I believe the code is registered mail.
but
Moving forward in the future, when it comes to any weed abatement or condemnation properties of the city, hiring contractor for the city removing the properties, Mayor and I have talked about actually putting in the paper without names. We would put it the addresses, and then that way, everybody has ample opportunity. Use the general circulated paper within a municipality. But these properties were cleaned up by the contractor that was hired by the city per the ordinance or per the resolution that was adopted by the council. But moving forward, everyone stays on this list. This one, but moving forward, we have looked at putting this as well. We will do the notifications. We will go even further by putting the addresses in the local paper so that it's the same across the board.
No other discussion? Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yay.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 7.
Resolution to approve the updated citizen participation plan.
Need a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yay.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. Number 8.
Ordinance to amend Alexander City Code, Chapter 34, Elections, Section 34-4, voting places.
We need a motion for immediate consideration.
Make a motion for the immediate consideration.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yay.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. I move to amend lines 11 and 18 after the words District 3 to add Alexander City Board of Education Central Office, and lines 19 and 20 to read 375 Lee Street, Alexander City, Alabama 35010. We need a motion to approve the amendment to the ordinance.
Make a motion to approve the amendment to the ordinance.
Second.
That be made the motion. We just need a second.
So, second.
Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yay.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. Now we need a motion to approve the ordinance as amended.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance as amended.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just would like to thank, Dr. Jose Reyes. He was very, accommodating and should be a good location for our voters in District 3.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, Councilor Phillips.
Yay.
Councilor Tapley.
Yay.
Councilor Hardy.
Yay.
Councilor Eric Brown.
Yay.
Councilor Chris Brown.
Yay.
Chair, yay. At this time, no one signed up for public comments from the mayor.
I'd like to remind everybody that potentially we could have some weather coming in tomorrow night between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. We are in the slight category, so it's not a big threat, but just be aware and watch your weather and pay attention and take the appropriate action if it does get bad.
Comments from the city clerk.
I want to thank the IT department for cleaning up our new microphone lines under the table, so y'all don't keep getting tangled up in them. They knocked that out this past week, so I thank them for that. Our next work session and city council meetings will be Monday, March 17th at 4:30 and 5:30.
I didn't even realize. Comments from the council. Councilor Phillips?
Nothing new. Thank y'all for coming out. It's great to see a good crowd tonight. We hope y'all keep coming. We'd love to hear your feedback. It helps tremendously, just like with the nutrition center, just to get a few other feedback from folks in the crowd. So thank y'all very much for coming. Be safe with the weather this week. Thank y'all for coming.
Councilor Tapley?
I think everybody for coming out. Always good to see you faces out here. As always, thank the city employees for what they do. Grateful to be serving with a good council up here, city clerk, and mayor, and all. Hope we continue to move forward in a positive way for the city. I would just like to say, I hope our salary study gets back soon. We're continuing to lose employees to other towns that are making more money, and we need to do something to stop the bleeding, because we get them in here and get them trained, and then they leave, and then we have to start all over again. And it puts the people who are loyal here in a bind to work overtime. So we need to do all we can to retain who we have and increase when we can. That's all. Thank you.
Council President Pro Tem Hardy?
Thank you guys for your attendance this evening. I would like to thank Russell Lands for their partnership. I was thinking over the weekend, I don't think there's any other community in Allen City who has, outside of maybe Adville, who has the type of private partner that we do in the city. And this partnership has been long-standing, but allows us to do things that normally we may not be able to. And again, for us, we're looking for additional revenue opportunities for the city. Bringing in these two neighborhoods onto the sewer line is going to be fantastic for us, and ultimately what that does also is going to help property tax in long term. So there's just a lot to be thankful for that partnership. So we do appreciate all that you guys do, and we don't say it enough, but thank you. Would like to give a shout out to Jane Tuck from the chamber. I haven't had a chance to talk about it in the last couple of weeks, but he hosted a Future Force Fest, which was a workforce related program to introduce some of the skilled trades and different professions to Jim Pearson students. And so I think that that's very wise and smart to do so, as we can expose them to things at an earlier age. I think that only helps them figure out some things from a career standpoint. So appreciate everything that the chamber's doing from a workforce development standpoint to try to shift us forward. And, again, to Councilman Tapley's point, I love having these conversations. We're not going to always agree on the outcome, but having these conversations in this type of setting at least lets people know that we're not just rubber stamping everything that comes through. I think something that would be beneficial, especially for a newer council person like Councilman Phillips, is if we already have some general idea of what's going to be on the next agenda, when we have our work session, if those things could be introduced to us so we can have some time to consume it before having to make the vote the day of. So again, that's not a reflection of anybody. I know everybody has a job to do, but it's easier to make decisions when you've had time to consume it than, and especially if you're the person who's spent a couple months on generating the information for the council to make a vote on. If we could get it a little bit earlier, so it doesn't have to be exact details, but if we have some type of knowledge moving forward, I think that'll make the decision making a little bit easier, at least for me. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and as the mayor said, be weather aware, and I will see you next time.
Councilor Eric Brown?
Thank everybody for coming out. It's always great to see a nice crowd, as always. And everybody on Facebook, YouTube, come join us in person rather, and enjoy. Big part of this, because it does help us all. Thank all the city employees that do a great job. Thank the council. I definitely truly enjoy working with everyone up here. Russell, as always, thank you. Y'all just have a wonderful week.
Councilor Chris Brown?
Just thank everybody coming out, and as I said earlier, thanks again to Russell Lands for the partnership and expanding our sewer services, which will ultimately help reduce the cost over time to all the citizens. I know that's been a very hot topic in our city for quite some time, so we are taking steps, and we have a partnership to do that with. So again, thank you all. Just be careful tomorrow evening, be weather aware. I'm sure if need be, the mayor and staff will open up the building, if it calls for that. But outside of that, weather looks good to follow the rest of the week. So like I said before, get out and play around the golf.
I want to thank the council but most people don't realize I have 5 guys who text me at any time of the day or night, or call me about something. But we work very well together, and when we make a decision, the council has made a decision, we stick by that decision. So I appreciate them. We will never agree on everything. If we did, one of us would be impacted, and it would not be me. So thank them for the awesome job they do, and thank the mayor and his staff for the great job they do for this. I ask that you all continue to pray for this council and this leadership. We need prayer more than we need anything. And I will tell the council members, I will start to look at how our meetings go. That's like the second or third request I've had about our agendas and how they go and how they flow. That is actually put forth by an ordinance, and it's already established. If we want to change it, then we would have to go back, look at that ordinance and change it. I will look at that and get back with you all on that, so just know that may be coming. Again, I thank every citizen for being here for us. Russell Lands, you know I appreciate you all. I promise y'all, my mama told me a long time ago, she passed in 23, but when y'all put that boat store on 280, she said that's when the city started to turn around. So I thank y'all very much. I appreciate y'all. Now I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?